In the 14th century, long before Wall Street traders, oil tycoons, or modern billionaires, there lived a man whose wealth was so vast, so overwhelming, that historians still struggle to measure it. His name was Mansa Musa I, Emperor of the Mali Empire. A king whose generosity changed entire economies, whose gold reshaped cities, and whose legend has been shrouded in myths, lost stories, and mysteries rarely told. Today, we uncover the hidden chapters of the richest African man in history, and possibly the richest human who ever lived. The mystery of his rise. Most people know Mansa Musa became emperor in 1312. But few know how. His predecessor, Mansa Abu Bakr II, obsessed with the Atlantic, launched an enormous fleet, some say 2,000 ships, seeking what lay beyond the horizon. He never returned. Left behind was Musa, the man Abu Bakr trusted most. But Musa's rise wasn't luck. According to hidden accounts from Timbuktu's ancient scholars, Musa had already built alliances with gold miners, scholars, and traders. Some griots say he was chosen not because he was next in line, but because he understood the sacred economics of gold, the lifeblood of Mali. A land of gold. By the time Musa became emperor, Mali controlled the richest lands in West Africa. The empire stretched over the Bambuk gold fields, the Beret gold fields, the legendary Wangara mines, and the salt cities of Tagaza. Salt preserved life. Gold-powered empires. And Musa controlled both. Caravans of up to 12,000 camels, each carrying nearly 300 pounds of gold, moved across the Sahara under his authority. This was not wealth. This was a system of wealth creation. But the most untold part? Most of the gold wasn't mined by slaves. It was produced by highly skilled local miners who passed their methods through generations, creating one of the earliest gold-based economies in world history. The Untold pilgrimage. Everyone talks about Mansa Musa's pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324, but most don't know the hidden details. He didn't travel with hundreds. He traveled with tens of thousands. Accounts describe 60,000 people, 12,000 royal servants, 500 heralds dressed in fine silk, camels carrying more than 18 tons of pure gold. But here is what history rarely mentions. 1. The music of the pilgrimage. Travelers recorded that Musa's caravan was filled with musicians, kora players, drummers, singers, who announced the emperor's arrival with songs that echoed through the desert nights. 2. The gifts that changed economies. In Cairo, Musa gave away so much gold that Egyptian dinars dropped in value for 12 straight years. He unintentionally caused the first documented case of severe currency inflation by a traveler. 3. The secret scholars he recruited. While the world saw him as a generous king, Musa had another mission: recruit the finest thinkers from North Africa and the Middle East. He returned with architects, engineers, teachers, astronomers, people who would reshape Mali forever. The Golden City of Timbuktu. One of the greatest untold parts of Musa's story is what he did after returning home. He poured his wealth into Timbuktu, a city of sand, scholars, and sacred knowledge. He built the Djang Reba Mosque, massive learning centers, libraries containing hundreds of thousands of manuscripts. Many of those manuscripts still exist today, some hidden in desert vaults, some kept by families for over 600 years. Timbuktu became the intellectual capital of Africa, long before Oxford or Cambridge reached their peak. Here, astronomy, medicine, mathematics, law, and philosophy flourished. Untold legends of his generosity. Mansa Musa's generosity was legendary. But the stories go even deeper. 1. The man who became a merchant overnight. A story from a Cairo chronicle tells of a poor merchant who met Musa by chance. Musa gave him so much gold that he became wealthier than many nobles. To this day, the man's descendants tell the story as the moment their entire bloodline changed. 2. The slaves he freed. While slavery existed at the time, Musa was known for freeing large numbers of people, especially during religious seasons. Many freed individuals became traders, farmers, scholars, even royal advisors. 3. The secret gold roads of Mali. Some say Musa ordered hidden routes through the forest, guarded by elite warriors, where gold caravans traveled safely away from raiders. Only a few maps show these paths. The hidden architect, Al-Saheli. One of Musa's greatest untold decisions was bringing back a brilliant Andalusian architect, Abu Ishaq al-Saheli. Al-Saheli revolutionized West African architecture, introducing the vaulted roofs, adobe techniques, and wooden timber reinforcements seen today. He designed palaces, mosques, learning centers. And Musa paid him the modern equivalent of over $2 million for a single building. This isn't just wealth. It's civilization building. Scene 7, The myth of his treasure vaults. 3 minutes legends speak of Musa's hidden vaults, places where gold, manuscripts, and sacred objects were stored. 1. The Sankor treasure rooms. Some griots tell of underground chambers beneath Timbuktu's University of Sankor. Not filled with gold, but with priceless manuscripts bound in leather and gold leaf. 2. The royal vaults of Niani. His capital city, Niani, is said to have held the largest gold reserve in pre-modern world history. Traders claimed the vaults glowed at night from the reflection of stacked gold bars. 3. The lost caravan. One tale speaks of a caravan that vanished in the Sahara carrying part of Musa's pilgrimage gold. Some explorers still search for it today. Depth of his wealth. Modern economists estimate Musa's wealth at the inflation-adjusted equivalent of $400 billion. But this number barely scratches the truth. His wealth wasn't just gold. He controlled trade routes, salt mines, ivory, copper, agriculture, knowledge, military power, diplomacy, education. These created a self-sustaining empire that made Musa not only a rich man, but the axis of a global economic system. The final years. Musa spent his later years focusing on education and religion. He funded scholars, built mosques across Mali, and expanded Timbuktu's universities. Some accounts say he died peacefully around 1337. Others claim he stepped down and devoted himself to worship until his final breath. Even in death, his wealth lived on, passed to his son and the empire that continued to thrive for decades. Legacy of a legend. Mansa Musa was more than the richest African man in history. He was a king who transformed economies, reshaped cities, elevated education, and left a legacy that echoes across centuries. His story is often reduced to a man with gold. But the untold truth is far greater. He built universities. He uplifted the poor. He changed nations. He inspired explorers. He connected Africa to the world. And while time buried many of his tales beneath desert sands, his legacy endures. In manuscripts, in monuments, in stories whispered by griots, and in the memory of Africa's golden age.